Welcome into the crypto bunker. Today we're going to be talking about Ethereum. We're going to be talking about crypto news, the metaverse, the sentiment around crypto right now. We're going to be comparing ETH to what happened in ETH 2017 in the charts. We're going to be looking at a lot of things because Ethereum and crypto is truly reaching the mainstream right now. And so let's get right into it because there's a lot to cover. So really what I wanted to look at is this Ethereum chart, and this is the daily chart. We'll look at the weekly chart in a second, but real quick before I get to the news, I just wanted to bring up the chart just to show you guys sort of what we're looking at with Ethereum for today is the RSI is actually very calm on the daily, and it's not really overheated at all. So usually when we see a top, as you can see in all of the history of Ethereum, some of these major tops that we've seen have really come when RSI was up around the 90 level, way above this consolidation range in the purple. And so, going through my days of trading, and if you look at, my past videos, I really, to be honest, didn't really know what I was talking about back then. And, I apologize if that threw anybody on here off. I never meant for anyone else to be trading. I kind of think the best strategy is just to hold for the long term, but I also think it's a good idea to know sort of are you safe to get in now? Are we at a major macro top? Are we gonna, come down, into a bear market or something? And for all the people who said, double top and all that, we're really past that at this point. We've broken through this key resistance and we're just on our way now. And we can take a look at that in a minute, but I've always had a target initially of around 6,500. And again, if you just, trade by these RSIs, you can actually see that even on this one, right, the first big peak we had that we're going to compare sort of where we're at right now, in my opinion, we're right around this area for this next big run up for Ethereum. And so if you look at it, we actually had diminishing returns on the RSI, right? So it actually went down over time, even though we went higher. So now I'm kind of looking for that same thing. I think that, this is sort of the first wave that we've gone through of this market. And, we've sort of kept to this diminishing returns. So who knows, maybe we chop around and we make our way up to this level. Maybe we sort of go a little bit higher. That's something I'm going to be personally watching out for. We're also going to be taking a look at Ethereum, the 2017 fractal. I think that this is pretty cool to look at as well. So if you look at these compare it side by side, you can see we have the double peak. We have, the big blow off top. We have the correction, sort of a bear market. We have another run up to the same exact level. And then we have a correction once again. We had that same exact thing play out. We did not go as deep as I thought. I was predicting around 2,400, and we actually ended up going down to around 2,650 on that correction. So as you can see, we had the run up, the big bear market, then other run up to about the same all-time high, and then we corrected again, and now we're coming out of it, and we're actually coming out of it stronger than in the 2017 run. So I did want to emphasize that, this sort of went a little bit more sideways for a few months here. But again, it did start taking off around November 22nd, and Ethereum is just starting to take off, and it's about, obviously it's November 2nd. So if we compare what Ethereum did in this run up, going from sort of these lows of 200 to 1400, we had a 7x. And so, we sort of think about what does that mean for Ethereum this time around. We could be looking at a $17,000 Ethereum let's see, if we go from 2,600 and we 7x that, right? We can sort of try to estimate what that might be. And I think it would be around, if I can calculate it out for you guys right now, just to be exact with it, we had 2650 times 7, we would actually get 18,550 for this fractal to play out perfectly. And obviously nothing will play out perfectly, but we do sort of want to look and see what the past has brought us, and what that can bring us for the future. I've drawn this wedge for you guys a few different times, so like, why not just do it one more time, just so that we're sort of aware of what we're looking at here for Ethereum. And it's sort of like this big wedge that has not technically played out yet, all the way, obviously. But what you do is you take the top to the bottom from that previous top, and you line it up here, and you get around, well, this is telling us around 6,300. And so that might match up with a lot of, what some of these people who are predicting things are sort of looking at right now. 6,500 and 9,000 are sort of my next two points. 9,000 is pretty much exactly 100% gain from here. So that would put us at like $1 trillion market cap for Ethereum. I think that would be a good place to sort of top out, and then maybe do another correction, and then do a real blow off into next year, which, could kind of be the blow off top of the end of the cycle. I think that Ari Paul made a really good comparison to, or analysis, I should say, of what possibly could happen in this market, is that we sort of grind our way up. Bitcoin goes to around 80K, 85K. He didn't give a prediction for Ethereum, but in my opinion, that could be like 6,500, 9,000. And then, people sell towards the end of the year because they want to make their books look good. They've made really good gains on some of these. They want to realize some of that, those gains. And so we have maybe like a mid-December to early January quick 2-week correction. Maybe it's sharp and quick. And then January 1st rolls around, and we know what happened last year, January 1st. That's when we really started seeing this run up. This is actually exactly where we started last year, was January 1st for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so I think that could happen again. We could see a run up to, to those levels like I was talking about. And then we correct, back down maybe to this range. And then we really blast off, right? I mean, we're going to be looking at this in the future and being like, damn, that was really a small chart pattern back then, and it looked massive. But in reality, I mean, we're looking at, big macro investors who are getting into Ethereum. And, this is another cool chart that Tech Dev on Twitter has given out. And it's basically saying we are right here in the cycle. We had the peak 1, peak 2, and then the top. And once again, it's sort of a diminishing returns for this. So, like I said, it's sort of like looking to be right around this area for the top, which would bring us around maybe a 5x from here or something like that. So I could see that happening by the end of the year. We'll see what happens. Markets are never the same. We do see a lot of altcoins running right now, which I think actually kind of marks the beginning of something. I think a lot of liquidity is going to flow into alts. And then once ETH and Bitcoin really start moving, which technically today I don't even think is a real move at all. It's just sort of quietly breaking the all-time highs, which I think is really bullish. But we're going to start to see those funds and flows sort of move back into Bitcoin and Ethereum for this end of year run. Alts could suffer for the next couple months after that, and then we could see them sort of start to run during this next rally that could be like January, February, March. And then we have ETH 2.0 coming in June. And so that's a major change for Ethereum, which could mark the top of the cycle, in my opinion. So we'll see where we're at that point. I do have a long-term target on ETH of 100K personally. So my cash out plan involves, it involves being on a low leverage position right now, where I will cash out at 6,500 at 9,000. I'll get out of the leverage. And then I will be cashing out at 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And I will also be staking 50% of my total portfolio forever, basically. So if ETH does reach 100K, I can make a really good income off of that staking. So that's my plan for now. And I'm what's my plan in the future? I'm going to stick to it. I think it's important to, take some profits along the way. And regardless of how long that might take, whether it's 5 years or 2 years, that's going to be my plan personally. So another cool thing that's happening right now is Ethereum name service, which is like my name, cryptobunker.eth. So for having a name, I'm actually going to be dropped Ethereum name service tokens as part of the Ethereum name service DAO that is forming. They will, we will receive our governance token soon, and I'm probably just going to hodl those. I do think Ethereum name service is really important. It's sort of like the combination of website plus digital identity. So think of like .com names that everyone bought up in the 90s. That's sort of what's happening with .eth names now. You have a lot of people who are buying these up, and mainstream companies who are also buying them up. Basically all the corporation names are gone. But if you do find something, maybe buy one. It's probably costs around $300 right now with gas fees being so high. So just be aware of that. And you will not be getting the airdrop. The snapshot was already taken yesterday or 2 days ago now. So the next thing I want to talk about real quick was Web3. That is being thrown around a lot right now is Web 3.0. And I thought that this was a good tweet by Santiago Santos. He said, Web 2 brands talk about community without sharing any upside with it, and then wonder why they struggle with retention of customers. Web 3 brands build community because every contributor can have a stake and participate in the upside. This is why Web 3 will win. And I totally agree with him. I think that this whole metaverse thing that's starting with Facebook, you can see, I wanted to show you guys this Shoyu presentation real quick while we talk about the metaverse next. This is the Shoyu metaverse. Built by Sushi. Amazing work. This is going to be a really cool way to display your art in the metaverse. So pretty sweet. They're actually doing a presentation in New York today. So good for them. Go Sushi team. Amanda and all those people that have been working on it. Great work to you guys. So, Sushi is taking over New York actually a little bit. I have a ton of tweets to go through here because there's just so much going on. But as you can see, we sort of were in like a crab season with Bitcoin. And I'll get to the metaverse in a second, but I think this is important. We went sideways here last, year at the same exact time, right around the previous all-time high. And this is a similar, situation right now. So just watch out for this next run up. Possibly this is kind of what I was saying, right? This could play out where we're going sideways. We run up to 85K. There's that. We correct down kind of quickly through like 2 or 3 weeks. And then January 1st comes around and bam, we're off to the races again for another run. So we'll see what happens. Just to give you guys a few other metaverse thoughts real quick. Let me see where this tweet is. Yeah, so I'll just have this up while I talk about the metaverse real quick. Ryan Berkman's is a great follow on Twitter. But it looks like what's going to be happening is they're going to be corporate metaverses and crypto metaverses. And in my opinion, the only metaverse worth worrying about or being a part of is a crypto metaverse, because then you can really own your digital rights. You can make money for yourself. You can start businesses for yourself with complete control of your identity and your rights of your digital goods and digital NFTs and things like that. So I do think that these corporate metaverses will integrate with crypto more than people think. And so there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of metaverse, virtual worlds that are available for people to jump into. And so I just wanted to make sure I touched on the fact that I believe that Ethereum is the best metaverse investment right now. People are running around, you watch YouTube videos, invest in Mana, invest in Sandbox, invest in Illuvium, invest in Axie Infinity, right? There's so many of these coins, invest in Engine, whatever it is. And don't get me wrong, I do think that there's gains to be made in those, but most of those gains, I just think, maybe have been sucked up already. It's crazy to see Mana. I remember I started investing in Mana at like 10 cents. Now it's like $3. Sandbox, I remember seeing for like, maybe 50 cents. Axie Infinity, I remember starting to invest at like $2 in that. And to be honest, guys, like I'm not someone who can just hold coins for very long if it's not something I truly, truly believe in. And so, none of this is financial advice, obviously, but personally, I've decided to go all in on Ethereum. I don't think that there's enough people who are doing that right now. And so I just want to make sure to say, like, all these metaverses are going to be built around Ethereum as part of the Ethereum network, because the Ethereum network has the most liquidity, it has the most developers. So when all this value and talent is moving around, they're on Ethereum. So they will be building and have an association and loyalty to Ethereum as a platform, an open, credibly neutral public utility platform where people can build on top of. And so I just wanted to make sure that people realize that Ethereum is still extremely undervalued. We hear Raoul Pal talk about how Ethereum is going to go to a $200 trillion asset class, which totally makes sense because this is like the new renaissance. We're just at the beginning of the new renaissance. And the last renaissance happened after a plague as well. So now we're coming out of COVID. And I think COVID kind of drew us into the metaverse. And now we're sort of like, oh, shoot, we can totally build in this new world. This is our world. This is no one else's world, right? This isn't the corporations. This isn't 9-to-5 jobs. This isn't basically like slavery of, us having to work to do, to make money. This is like something where we can enjoy ourselves. We can be creative. We can be artistic in many different ways through developing, through art, through so many different ways. And we can do it on Ethereum. So I think that that's super important. I also think that this is really cool too.
Subscription versus artisan subscription, because I have not made this work yet. It's not like, oh, I've made, a lifetime of
this is by
work
Beeple.
and I'm just slowly parsing it out to you. I haven't made it yet. I truly also am along for this journey, and that's something that's exciting to me too. But I think this sort of concept of trusting artists on a deeper level to challenge you and bring beauty into your life and sort of have this ongoing conversation, I think is really, really exciting, and something that when people understand this, it will be much, much closer to the true full potential of what digital art can be. To be quite honest,
yeah. So, I mean, honestly, like, I think that's just really cool. So I just wanted to show you guys that. But, Sushi taking over Times Square, really cool what's happening with NFT NYC. I wish I could be there. I just personally don't really have any money. I haven't like technically made it yet. So maybe next year, if everything works out with Ethereum, I can make my way over there. My brother actually lives in New York, so it would be cool to go to that. I do think I want to go to ETH Denver, which is in February of next year. So hopefully that can work out. I have a cousin out there as well. So, and this is really interesting to see because Willy Woo is like pretty much the most like well-known and popular on-chain analyst in the space. He's saying while Bitcoin is building up strength for all-time high escape velocity, ETH is quietly building even stronger on-chain fundamentals not yet reflected in price. And so him not being a total Bitcoin maximalist is really, really interesting to see. I have noticed that like once in a while he will post something on Ethereum, but I've never seen him post something on Ethereum that's this bullish. So I wanted to make sure to say that. I also wanted to say my own tweet that says, Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin at every turn for the past year now. The market speaking for a full year is no joke. Ethereum has never outperformed Bitcoin in Q4 in its history of 7 years. If that happens this quarter, look out. Because I think that it's never happened before for a reason. And I think what it just means is that more institutions are actually looking at Ethereum over Bitcoin and allocating more to Ethereum. So we'll see what happens with that. Ethereum is also going to be deflationary, which I think is really interesting. And so we can just look real quick at ultrasound.money to see how much ETH has been burned. But we had our first deflationary week in Ethereum, which means there was less issuance of Ethereum to the miners than actually there was burned. And so once ETH 2.0 comes around, we will have a negative issuance of a negative 2.2%. And what Ryan Berkmans has said in the past is that we obviously can't have a deflationary asset forever. So what we need, because then it would go to zero, right? There wouldn't be any ETH, and we need that to, run the digital economy that we're in. So we actually need the Ethereum price to rise far enough that we have a slight inflation with Ethereum. And so I think that that's really important to think about. What that level might be, I'm not sure, but we will see sort of how that works out, because eventually that will have to happen. Another cool thing with proof of stake, that it can secure more value than actually what it's worth. So right now, Bitcoin cannot secure more value than what the market cap is. But with Ethereum, you can put like bonds, right? Like government bonds on top of it. And with proof of stake, it can actually securely, be able to hold those as well. So that's definitely interesting. Another thing that Metaverse Frank, he changed his name, Frank Chaparro tweeted out, he said, Wall Street is offering big pay increases to amass a crypto army, compensation bumps of as much as 50% for comparable roles to lure talent. So if you want to go work in crypto, which I mean, I do, maybe I'll look into this, but they're offering massive amounts because they know, what everyone knows what's happening. Okay, like we're in the mainstream eye now. Ethereum market cap is bigger than JP Morgan. It's coming up on Facebook. It's coming up on some of these other big companies. So just watch out for more of this mainstream adoption that's coming, because it's happening so fast. You can see Quentin Tarantino. He actually is actually breaking into NFTs thanks to Secret Network. So 7 uncut scenes from Pulp Fiction are being released as secret NFTs, which means you can show them or you don't have to show them. So once you have them in your wallet, you can actually just I think it's just hidden. And it's really cool because it's the original screenplay. So it's like pictures of the original screenplay that no one has ever seen. So just unique things that come from having this unique NFT from him. And he seems like he's into NFTs now, which is also really cool. So that's pretty much all I had. You can see there's some people who are starting to take their salary in Bitcoin. Francis Suarez says he wants to take 100% of his salary in Bitcoin. We saw Aaron Rodgers saying he was going to take part of his salary in Bitcoin. We have Microsoft planning future metaverse apps. Obviously, every single company is going to be part of the metaverse. Nike's heading to the metaverse. We have El Salvador using their Bitcoin profits to build 20 schools. So many things are happening right now, guys. It's unbelievable. So just enjoy it while we can. Hopefully you guys got something out of the video. And if you haven't, maybe subscribe. If you like what you heard today and what I'm trying to do here, just trying to educate people, and give it a like. We'll see you later. We'll talk to you soon. I plan to be coming out with a few different videos this week, possibly one which I've said in the past on Brave Browser. I think everyone should use Brave Browser, and also possibly one on Ricochet Exchange, which is an app that's built on Superfluid on Polygon, and it actually allows you to dollar cost average into ETH, into Bitcoin, into Maker, into Matic, with DAI and USDC, and it dollar cost averages for a full month for every second, actually. So you're just constantly hitting it. You're constantly dollar cost averaging, and you're earning the RIC token on top of that. So again, I just wanted to throw that out there, but I will be making a few videos that I think you should check out. So go ahead and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day.